Hi, welcome to today's video. How do we help ourselves to stay in control and calm when we have busy careers and personal lives? One way is to establish personal boundaries. What do we mean by boundaries? Well, they are the limits that we set ourselves from other people, from our work, to separate ourselves, to protect what matters to us, to control what comes into our psychological space, sometimes our physical space too. We all have different needs and values, so being clear about what our personal boundaries are and sharing them with other people is really important and helps us to feel more comfortable. They're an important part of our well-being. They create mutual respect and they certainly empower us to have greater choice about how we live our lives. We often find it difficult to set and enforce our personal boundaries because we don't want to upset people. We want to be seen as responsive, we want to go the extra mile. However, this can result in us getting burnt out by simply doing too much and being too available. Ask yourself how often you've said yes to things that you meant to say no to. Somehow, though, it ended up with you agreeing to do it, that you've taken on extra work responsibilities when you were already feeling overloaded. You agreed to help out at school because you felt you should. Do you take on things and regret it later? Do you shy away from conflict and therefore let others have their own way? If so, let's talk about how you can strengthen these boundaries. It starts with understanding and deciding what's important to you. This can take some time to really explore it fully, and it's often work that I do with clients on a one-to-one basis. But for now, let's just keep it simple, and I'd like to just jot down what first comes to mind when I ask you that question about what are your own needs? What's important to you? So, for instance, is it time with your family? What sort of time might that be? Is it watching a film together, going to the park? What about really thinking about recognising how important your work is to you and your career? You may need to ensure that you get more uninterrupted time at work so you can concentrate. How about a need for me time so that you can relax or exercise? So many women that I talk to say just how much better they feel for having exercise as part of their routine every week. Do you need to prioritise that? So what sort of boundaries would help you to get what you want? Maybe deciding a time after which you're not available for work communications. No calls, no messages, emails, for example. So you just don't respond after a certain time in the evening, even if they come in. And ensuring that all your colleagues know that unless it's emergency, that's what happens. What about not working at the weekend or on holiday? Is that a boundary that would be helpful to you? Blocking out time in your work diary so that it's just time for you each week. So you have no meetings, it's uninterrupted. You can really focus on the important work. Some of the biggest boundaries that we need to set ourselves are around our work. And it's very easy to let it become all-consuming. However, there are also boundaries in our personal life that might be useful. So agreeing with your partner that they'll have the children every Wednesday so you can attend your yoga class. That's a fixed boundary for you. Setting a date night with your partner each month and sticking to it by booking a babysitter to make sure that that actually happens. You might need to learn to say no to help you to keep to your boundaries. You'll find a video on that on my YouTube channel if you're interested. I hope that's given you some ideas for how boundaries can help you in your busy life. If you'd like more help, please do contact me via my website, which is www.alto.uk.com. See you soon. Bye bye.